Live from Copple Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I am Harrison Arns, pushing the ones and twos. We have host Jeff Grace III and Sam Hoiberg, as always. A little rebranding. Have we fully decided on the walk-in weeklies? Walk-on weeklies. Okay, we'll get Bob to dub that up, and we'll have some better intros for you guys in the future. But we'll start calling it that, the Walk-On Weekly, here with Jeff and Sam. And like I said, Harrison pushing the ones and twos. If you guys want to join the show, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, where we're streaming at Hallow Channel 951, as well as the starter Hammond text line if you want to join the conversation, 402-464-5685. Like I said, plenty of ways to join the show. I'd imagine we're going to be talking some NBA playoffs here, especially considering we got these two basketball players in here. But out of the two games last night, was there anyone that caught you off guard? I mean, the two competitive games, I felt like there was no clear favorite, but I was 0 for 2 on who I thought was going to win last night. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I was pretty much 0 for 2 too.
I'm just shocked with how absurd the Celtics were shooting in the first quarter that they still lost the game. They started 14 and 15 from the field, which is just insane. And Sixers, I mean, James Harden started off unbelievable too.
He finally had that game for me.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I think it was in the 70s at halftime for the Celtics. It was like 70 to 76% between there.
It was like 78.
Yeah, an insane number. And then, like you said, somehow the 76ers find a way to come back and win that one with no Joel Embiid.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, I think the play that sparked it was the Malcolm Brogdon, where he kind of turned the ball over. He kind of didn't really have much time, and the clock was really winding down, and they threw it to Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey went in for the layup, and they were up by 1. So I think that was like the momentum shift in that game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of been the thing all year is for the Celtics. It's like, okay, can you slow them down on defense though? Like you might win some battles on the offensive side, but defensively, are you good enough? And honestly, you look at that game and you look at just the box score. So even though it was a great first half, they'd still finish the night shooting 58% from the floor. They dipped down in the three, shooting 38% by the time the game ended. And then you look at the 76ers, they just shot the ball just as well, 50% from the field, and then 44%, 45 round up from the three-point line. So again, it was just, both sides. Free throws, 76ers, 12 for 12, 100%. Celtics 17 for 18, 94. It was just elite shooting across the board. And then you go to the next game, which we won't dive in too much yet. And it was like watching games from two different eras.
Kevin Durant was rough last night.
I think he only had 2 threes the entire night.
It took a lot.
Yeah.
And I just I kept watching that fourth quarter. I was like, one of these is going in. It wouldn't fall. And Jokic was ridiculous too.
Yeah, I will say this about the Suns is I was watching that game and I felt like they figured out the Nuggets defensively. I still feel like they keep that same defense because they decided, let's not take away Jokic offensively. Let's take away his playmaking. You saw a lot of one-on-ones with Ayton at the free throw line, and they were just going to live and die by it. It's like, okay, if Jokic wants to turn around and put one over Ayton, we're just going to have to live by that. But they did a good job just blocking up the lanes and making everyone else like, okay, you're going to have to be your own playmaker here. But
the scary thing is Jamal Murray also had a really rough game, and they still won. Like, I don't think Murray's going to play that bad again. They can't get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he made it 3 last night.
No, he had like 6 points.
No, I can pull up the box score here real quick. But
no, he had a tough bucket at the end of the game. I don't know if it was a 3, but that was like the one part of the game where it actually looked like it was Jamal Murray out there.
Yeah, and then shortly after, Devin Booker and Jamal Murray started beefing again, and then the ref stepped in right away. But I think it was after that layup you're talking about. He had that tough finish, and then I think it was one more trip down the court, and then that's kind of a trend with Devin Booker on these losing ends. Unfortunately, he seems to kind of jaw when things aren't going his way. But
college teammates too. Was it them too?
No, I think
it was.
I think it was
Bruce Brown. That's
I think were they were college teammates? I thought
Jamal Murray and Devin Booker were.
Were they a year apart? Or were they college teammates?
Let's find the years.
I thought they were a year apart.
I think Jamal Murray started over Devin Booker.
Oh,
maybe it wasn't the same team. I'd be wrong because it was Tyler Ulis.
Mm-hmm.
Cat was on that team.
Wasn't the Harrison twins on that
Harrison twins.
Let's see here.
Cauley-Stein?
Cauley-Stein, was Lyles in that team too? They had an
I think
insane
so.
team, yeah. Maybe it wasn't the same, but
Yeah, so I think I think there might have been a year apart in the draft.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, they're both one and done. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
computer is being super slow,
That
but
makes sense.
both a couple one and dones. As that load, let's quick go back to that first game though with James Harden. He'd go 17 for 30. He finally has that game. No Joel Embiid, but now you're sitting in a spot where you play that well. I mean, both teams shot the ball incredibly well. I just have a hard read on where this thing's going to go. I mean, no one. If Embiid comes back, do they win that game? If Embiid's playing last night,
I don't think you can base it off of last night's game. Like, it just depended if he played well or not.
That's true. I mean, I just think the defense
Harden
alone
would not have had that game, obviously. So
No. I think it would have helped on the rebounding because Al Horford had like a possession where he had like three rebounds in a row, and I think overall that part would help. But I don't know if like the game would impact that much if like Embiid was playing. Like obviously it would impact a lot, but like Harden definitely wouldn't have that big of a game as he did.
Yeah, I guess that would be the argument. It's the only thing I can think of is if you throw Embiid in there, I have a hard time seeing them shooting, getting in the rhythm, going.
Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. This is the Walk On Weekly here with Sam Hoiberg and Jeff Grace III. And again, you guys can chime in anytime. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Allo channel 951. We got the internet back and working, so sorry if you missed a little bit. I think it was just the Sam Hoiberg show again for a little while here because we got our camera turned off for Jeff while the computer was crashing. But we're good now. We're all set. And again, feel free to join the conversation. But over the break, we were talking probably what's going to be arguably one of the most entertaining series of the playoffs. You got the Lakers and the Warriors, game 1 tonight at 9 p.m. Do you guys have any good reads on how the series might go?
I think the Warriors are going to win.
Think it'll be game 7, finish it early.
That is something I don't know for sure about that. I think it'll probably be more than 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Warriors losing game 1 in Golden State. But it's going to be interesting because Looney is obviously playing really well, but can he guard AD well?
Yeah.
And then how will D'Lo play? There's so many different variables of guys that you don't really know how they're going to do. If the Lakers are on point, I think they're going to win the series, but you just never know with those guys.
Go ahead.
I think if the Lakers want to win, Anthony Davis has to stay healthy. He has to.
It's a big if.
He has
big
to.
if, but he has to. Yeah, I think what's interesting for me on this one is this is going to be I mean, the Warriors, they do a lot more ball movement, but I mean, the Lakers are going to be kind of playing, you know, I think they're going to have an easier time adjusting to the matchups because you're going to the Warriors. They just got done playing with the Kings up and down the court. We're the number one offense. Now they got the Lakers. Let's slow things down. Let's get in the half court sets and let's just kind of bully and beat you up. So they're going to have to. The only reason I feel like they might be able to steal game one is just that matchup's going to be entirely different. And they also had to play later. You know, they had to go, you know, all the way up until game 7. So they're also not as much time to recover.
Who's guarding LeBron on the Warriors?
Do you throw Draymond?
Wiggins?
No, I think you got to throw Draymond on Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Looney.
Looney's going to go on AD. Draymond. The only thing is you put Draymond on him. You're pulling Draymond out on the perimeter. I think you're right. I think Draymond's arguably one of the best help defenders in the league. I don't want him on LeBron. I think you want him somewhere else because, I mean, all of his magic on defense is simply just rotating and just always being in the perfect spot. Like his help defense, if you want to understand how to play help defense, like he's honestly one of the best guys to watch, even if he's kind of mouthy and loud. I mean, he's damn good at defense. There's a reason.
Defense, you be mouthy and loud.
Yeah. Did you guys see his comments about Dylan Brooks?
I did.
Wait, what do you say about Dylan Brooks?
I won't say everything because it was pretty aggressive, but he was basically just calling him a clown, you know, and saying, I don't even think the guys on the Grizzlies like him, blah, blah, blah. And if you caught the news today, the Grizzlies, under no circumstances, will take Dylan Brooks
crazy,
back.
By the way, under no circumstances.
That's what that made me laugh.
Crazy. He's good enough to be on an NBA team. I don't know why they said it like that. Like,
I wonder if it was something that they don't want to leak out to save his, or just maybe it was a locker room thing where maybe guys really were just like, dude, you got to stop, you know, talking. It's because the Grizzlies, I mean, they went I would say last year they were everyone's favorite league pass team. This year, they kind of like flipped the switch in a hurry. Like they're kind of league enemy one. Maybe not for fans, but for a lot of
with what Ja was doing too. Like Ja with all the the gun stuff and basically just like being stupid.
Yeah,
like that's not guys that you want to cheer for. So and then you got Dylan Brooks being just a menace to society. But I saw a tweet today. It said, like, the Grizzlies getting Dylan Brooks is like a show having a character that they don't even like kill off. They just replace him with like someone else that just looks completely different because they had a falling out with the actor, and people were saying that big body David Roddy is going to be the replacement. They kind of look alike and play a little bit similar.
You could do it. You could pull it off. No.
Yeah, I don't know. There has to be some specific reason, definitely, because as you look at the Grizzlies in this past season, they caused the trauma.
Yeah.
And with the drama, like, he provides the drama, but like if you look at that whole entire team and like the interviews they've done, the whole like press conferences, the whole like social media, and
if they go out to speak to the press, even
exactly.
They've had a few games this season where they're just like, nope, that loss hurt. See you later.
Exactly. So like there has to be a specific reason behind like him not being able to come back. But also Draymond said like the Grizzlies wouldn't win with him on the team, so like he's the reason that they don't win. That was basically what he kind of said in his interview previously.
Yeah, he basically just called him out like big time, like calling him a clown, saying you're the reason why the Grizzlies aren't winning. Wow. And there's a little bit of truth to it. I'm not going to put it all on him. You can't put it all on one player, but there's definitely, this was a bad year for Dylan Brooks.
He's been playing like that all year, and they were still winning games. So I don't blame that series on him. He poked the bear, which wasn't smart against playoff LeBron, but LeBron, it's not like they just all of a sudden started playing super good when he did that. Like they won game one. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even in game one, was it game 2 or game 1 where Dylan Brooks kind of had that lash out?
Game 2 was the lash out.
Okay.
He started poking the bear, called him old, whatever. Hit the threes, literally just running down the floor in his face.
Staring at him.
It's so funny.
When that LeBron, I don't care who you are, just would never talk back to him. He's still way too good. I mean, he had 20 boards in one of the games. I think it was late in the series, game 5. But I mean, there's only a handful of players today that I think are better than LeBron, even then it's still up to debate. I mean, how many players ahead of LeBron, if any, for you guys right now? Not prime LeBron, like today LeBron.
With me, with LeBron's IQ, it's very hard.
Exactly.
Because
It's
he knows the game so well. Like the only player I would probably put up there was like KD or like Giannis, because
Mhm.
Giannis is really good
You
IQ.
don't think Jokic is better currently right now?
I'm a big Jokic guy.
Because
I think he's underrated.
Did you see that fourth quarter
Jokic,
yesterday?
that's a good point, because Jokic really does impact the game, because Jamal Murray finds him in the pocket so well.
Mhm.
And like Jokic is very good because like he can pass and also he can score, and he's very like he has a little finesse to his
Really good
game.
rebounder.
That too.
He's kind of like LeBron, and like if something's not working, he's got an arsenal of ways to change the game.
Yeah. So it actually kind of probably did change my output. It's a good point.
Because I'm putting Jokic as one of my guys.
That's better than LeBron today.
Yeah.
Just today. Okay. Giannis make that list? I know it's tough right now because they took a pretty ugly way out of that first round, given Giannis wasn't fully healthy.
Giannis is ridiculous. I still have him.
Mm-hmm. I think
What
so
do you guys
too.
think about Embiid? I don't know if I put him above LeBron.
He's not there yet for
I
me.
don't think so. Just as of like straight impact on the game, those are maybe the only two that I have right now.
Mm-hmm. The only
I mean,
reason why Embiid,
Jimmy Butler, like just
Nah.
based on his playoff performances, like impact on the game, thinking of it like that. But I can't put Jimmy above LeBron.
yeah, I think if he had a longer history, I would, because who was on the Pacers? TJ Warren. Remember the bubble? TJ Warren.
Yes.
That's why, like, you can't get starstruck a little bit in the playoffs, because I'd watch that and there's no way I could say I think TJ Warren is better than LeBron, but he was crazy in those playoffs. With Jimmy Butler,
He's done this.
I will say
in
it's a
the
little more
playoffs
consistent,
more consistently. So
but not as consistent as LeBron has in the playoffs.
Right.
So
But
I
I
wouldn't
don't, like-
put him there yet.
there's still times where I'm watching LeBron now. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, you know,
And I feel like I can't just forget about those moments and only remember like the game winner he had or the game tire against the Grizzlies. And he played really well in that series, but he didn't play great the whole time.
yeah, he definitely had some bad
Shot
moments. man.
16% from three or something like that.
Mhm.
So
There's always moments with LeBron, and I have a hard time evaluating him just for this reason. It's like, okay, should I evaluate you like you're trying, or are you purely saving your energy right now?
right.
Because
I
you
think-
want to beat up on him on plays, but it's like, I don't know if he's trying.
Most of the time he saves energy. There's no way you like he's so good at like saving his energy, because like it's bad, because like on TV you're like, what is he doing? But then like in a way sometimes it like most of the time it does work out in his favor,
Mhm.
because he's so old that like he knows his body so well. And when you save your energy and know your body that well, like it gives you a better output, because the people around him like obviously knows how he plays, and like they will adapt to how he's playing and like kind of like pick up from what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's why Jokic is so far up there too, just for that exact same reason. I think if he can start winning rings, he's going to go down. I mean, analytically, he's already just like shoulders above a lot of what we consider the best centers of all time. Like, I know it was a race between Embiid and Jokic, but if you just like dive into the stats, like everything still really favors Jokic if you go on the analytics.
If there was no voter fatigue, it would have been like if Embiid had won the last 2 years 100%, Jokic would have won MVP. It's just voter fatigue, in my opinion.
I think it's true, because how many would LeBron have? You know, if voter fatigue wasn't a thing. I mean, LeBron hands down was one of the best players year in, year out, and people just didn't like giving it to him. Same thing with Steph. Kobe kind of that 1 year. I love Kobe, but I felt like he got robbed by Steve Nash. I can't remember what season that was, but
He had 35. He was averaging 35 and did not win MVP.
yeah, and they gave it to Steve Nash, which to me was I don't know if that was voter fatigue. I think that was just Steve Nash had the better narrative.
Yeah, and their team was way better than the Lakers that year in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with the MVP this year, did you guys agree with it? Joel Embiid?
I think Jokic probably deserved it, but I thought it was going to be Embiid. Just
Okay.
Based on that voter fatigue thing.
You would have, if it was you probably would have gave it to Jokic, but you guess that would be Embiid.
I would have gave it to Jokic.
With the media these days, like it's hard for a person to win 3 times back to back to back to back. So like obviously they definitely got annoyed and like wanted someone else to win,
Mhm.
even though he probably should have won. So I mean, he definitely deserved it, but like I don't know if you'd honestly give it to him because if you look at the amount of games he hasn't played this year, I don't think he deserves it because he hasn't played that many games as other people.
So this will be fun for you guys. Can you guys guess? You have to go back in time for this one. Who was the last player to win 3 MVPs in a row? And this makes points to your argument about the media changing because the media at this time was not nearly as prevalent.
Kareem?
Nope. Later than that.
MJ.
Same era. Very. I mean, MJ is. You're about as close as you can be with MJ. Just considering those two players and the era they grew up in together and how they changed the NBA.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird,
Yeah,
last
those are
one,
another
3
US summer
MVPs.
magic.
And then the next one before Larry Bird was Will Chamberlain. And then before Will Chamberlain was Bill Russell. So that was 34 years ago today was the last time we had 3 MVPs in a row from one player.
And here's the thing, like, I saw this just from being on social media. Like, I feel like the media just creates a narrative. Like, they're so good at pushing, like, who they want to win MVP. Because for a while, like, the lot of the season, it felt like it was Jokic had that lead. And then all of a sudden, it's like Embiid's the obvious MVP out of nowhere. And that was the last 2 months of the NBA season. So now we get here and he wins it. I think that was just push. Like, it's easy for the media to push that.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, that voter fatigue too. I can imagine these media sites. It's like, well, if you write about Jokic again, how many clicks is that going to get? Like, that's not a fun story. Everyone's heard that. I mean, they just read it, every year in a row now. And you switch it up, you throw Embiid in there, you get some more interest. To me, honestly, they just need to rework that whole MVP voting with the fans. It's because it's fans, media, and then it goes partial to the actual NBA as well. But like the media, I don't know if they should even really get a vote sometimes. Like, it's not your job to understand the sport of basketball. It's your job to report.
Especially if they can do that for clicks too. Like,
yeah.
a better story. Like,
there's incentives in there for them to not do what they're supposed to do.
Like, in people making MVP arguments about those two players against each other, like Embiid averaged like 43 on Jokic this season. Like that's like, right. Like, he's not good at defense. So Embiid, the best offensive player in the NBA scoring wise, has a good game against him. That still doesn't tell the story of who's the better player overall for the regular season. And that's what I think the media did a lot at the end of the year. They just put them against each other, like, in their games.
Yeah, which you can't do. Because like you said,
Embiid didn't play the last game against him, which I think was part of that reason. He didn't want to mess up this crazy good stats he had in the first time they played him.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
He didn't play that last matchup they had, which would have been huge to kind of settle that debate.
And Jokic went off that game too.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like when Embiid's not on the court. That's, I mean, he's just so good. And like you said, you got to paint the full picture with Jokic. And if you're not watching what he does on the court outside of his jump shots, like just the way that team moves around him, it's insane. He's got, like, that team runs through him, and that is so rare. And that's why I just think he's better than Embiid. Like, offensively, yes, Embiid, but even then, it's still like, if you're just talking scoring baskets, but if I want playmaking, like, I want to build around Jokic.
For sure. I wouldn't say that Embiid's a better offensive player. I'm just saying he lead the league in scoring.
Yeah, he led the league in scoring. Just a lot of that, though, is just he gets fed the ball. Like, he's kind of their engine. He's not setting up plays. He is the finishing of the play.
He gets fouled a lot.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's great at getting to the free throw line. But you got to paint that full picture with Jokic, because what he's able to do, just the players moving around him, it's something we haven't seen before. And I'm leaning closer and closer to the Nuggets. So far have proven to be the most legit team in this whole thing. Like, they haven't scared me at all with how they've been playing. You guys, I mean, other than Michael Porter Jr., who's been kind of their swing guy, he hasn't always been all there. But I mean, how are you guys feeling about the Nuggets going into this one?
I think watching the game yesterday, right?
Yeah, last night, late game, ended at like 11:30.
Very good defense on both sides.
Yeah.
Just like people just stepping up each and every night. Like KCP had a great game yesterday. Aaron Gordon's been having a phenomenal.
Yeah,
He was
game
a
as well.
great pickup for those guys.
Yeah. So they definitely have depth going into it, and I feel like you're right. Like they do strike out as like the most sound team so far. Especially because the Suns aren't an easy team to beat. Obviously with Katie and Devin Booker, but their defense has been very good on those two. Like I saw Katie do like this crossover, and like he usually gets people on the crossover, but then like someone recovered on it and like blocked a shot, which you don't see very often.
Oh, he's talking about when he's going to the fade on that kind of bit. Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was the first time I've seen him get blocked on that
Exactly.
shot.
So you don't see that very much. So I feel like
who blocked him?
It was like two players on him at once. It might have been.
I think it was Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown is underrated, by the way.
Yeah,
And
I like that. It gives Bruce Brown some love. He is a nice player. He doesn't get talked about very much.
yeah, I think it was Bruce Brown because in that first game he ripped KD twice.
Yeah,
and had 2 dunks or something like that. So I feel like yes, I would agree. Like they are definitely a very good sound team as of right now.
I was going to talk about Aaron Gordon because he's been super good for them, and he fits so well with Jokic because he can sit in the room. That's what we call it. It's the dunker spot, and he'll sit in the dunker spot and just feed off of Jokic coming off of a roll or working downhill. He's so athletic, he can catch lobs or just get dunks or easy layups off of that stuff, and then having guys to spread the floor like Bruce Brown can knock down a shot, KCP, Jamal Murray, obviously. So they just have, I think, a roster that really fits. And then, like I said, Bruce Brown he's very underrated. He's just a really good defender, plays really hard, and is capable of shooting the three.
And they just got so much size too. I mean, you threw in Aaron Gordon, but Michael Porter Jr. as well. Obviously Jokic. I mean, they got size, and then KCP Caldwell Pope. How tall is he? I don't think he's probably their shortest guy on the team, but he's been a flamethrower for him lately.
Yeah, he had a really good game last night.
The shot he hit at the end kind of
really sealed it for him.
Yeah, that was tough.
Because I think that ended up being like a 10-point game at the end, maybe even more than that. The fourth quarter was a little disappointing. If you were a Suns fan, anyways, it was rocking in Denver.
Well, Jokic, I knew the Nuggets were going to win when he hit that like fader, leaning back with I think a little bit like shot clock was about to run out.
Yeah,
that was and just swished it. It was nasty.
Yeah, that was money.
And it's so funny watching Jokic because he looks exhausted the entire game. He just cooks them.
He's a guy that what's funny is you see a lot of players talk trash. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen anyone talk trash to Jokic. I don't know it's because they're scared of his brothers or if they're scared of Jokic. But like, that's a guy that seems like nobody wants to mess with him.
No,
I don't think I've seen that either.
Only time I saw was last year when they played the Suns and Devin Booker and him got into it. That was the only time I saw it.
That was fair though. Like that wasn't anything about the game. Just smacked him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I was just trying to remember that one.
He got ejected. That was that was the last game of that series, I think.
With that being said, though, we are up to our last break. Again, this is the Walk On Weekly. I'm here with Jeff Grace III, Sam Hoiberg, as always. I'm Harrison pushing the 1s and 2s. We'll be back right after this break.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tag-on, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I'm Harrison Arndt, here with Jeff and Sam. This is the Walk On Weekly. Got a little bit of time here. We're talking NBA playoffs. Last time to get your opinions in. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line, as well as streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Allo channel 951. Plenty of ways to reach us. And we were talking NBA playoffs pretty much the whole show. It's been an interesting playoffs. I don't know about you guys, but to me, this has been the most, how do I want to say it, the most convoluted playoffs I've ever had. I haven't felt good. I said it yesterday, or I said to start the show, I went 0 for 2 yesterday. That's not super uncommon. It's not great to come in here when you're a sports radio host, but nonetheless, this is a very tricky playoffs. I mean, out of these games that we got left, let's just do picks so we don't got a ton of time left here. And obviously, as these series play out, we'll kind of adjust them. We're not keeping score here. But with the Heats and Knicks, I mean, tonight, I think everyone's kind of rolling Knicks because Jimmy Butler is going to be out. But
20 to 19 right now.
20 to 19, who's up?
Knicks are up.
Knicks are up.
RJ Barrett has 13 already. Wow.
He's a guy that I've been waiting to develop, and he's kind of fallen off my radar. I don't think he'll ever hit the ceiling that people want him to hit, but he's still a nice player. His biggest problem is just going to be how soon does he want that money, and if teams are going to be willing to fork it over. But out of that series, assuming, if Jimmy does get back, who do you have favorited to win that series?
The Heat.
I agree.
Rolling with the Heat still?
Yeah, I think that they look so solid right now. And then having Kevin Love playing well, plus Gabe Vincent's a really good player who I honestly didn't even know about until the playoffs. So,
Oh, did I?
But yeah, they got really good players, and I feel like they have a little bit more experience in the playoffs than the Knicks guys do. So that I think I got them favored.
And that first game was big to win. And now after this game, they go back to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be pretty tough for the Knicks to win in Miami.
Yeah, and like you said, for that first game, if you didn't know, Gabe Vincent, he dropped 20 points in that first win over the Knicks. And that one, if you're a Knicks fan, or excuse me, if you're a Heat fan, you're feeling pretty good because, yeah, Jimmy Butler still had his game. I mean, he played 43 minutes, 11 rebounds, 25 points, but you look across the board, Bam Adebayo, he puts up 16, Vincent with 20, Kyle Lowry with 18, and then you just got a bunch of 8s, 9s all over the place. So it was a lot more team-oriented. You didn't need Jimmy Butler giving you 46 to win that one, and they'd still win that one, by a couple of scores there. So, I mean, I'd probably roll with the Heat on that one as well. I mean, if you just beat the Bucks too, you got to be coming off a high. Like, you're looking at everyone else, like, we beat the best. We're at a point now where we're expecting to win these. Moving on here. Right now, Philly leads the series. We talked about it already. They won yesterday, somehow overcoming the crazy hot shooting by the Celtics. They're leading 1 right now. Does that series switch in favor to the Celtics, and do they pull that one out? Or are you going with the 76ers?
The only reason I'm going to go with the Sixers is because they won game 1. But other than that, I am so even on the series that I don't really know. Embiid has to come back, but I think he will next game.
Yeah, he seems likely to come back.
Obviously, if Embiid's not coming back, Celtics are favored. But if he does, I'm pretty 50-50, and it's 1-0 Sixers, so I'll go with them.
Yeah, Jeff?
I mean, this one's very tough because obviously Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can really go off at any point.
Mm-hmm.
But
they pulled it out with Embiid already, though. That's what makes this one hard.
I agree. With Embiid, it's going to be a very tough mix for the Celtics to capitalize on that. So, with stealing game 1, I'm going to go to the 76ers.
What do you got, Harrison?
Give me the C's. As gross as it is, I'll go with the C's. I think I got to roll with those guys. I mean, that shooting was just absolutely insane. Yeah, and they're capable of that because I've seen that throughout the regular season. Like, yeah, that one was even higher. Maybe some ones we've seen before, but that offense wasn't surprising. I was surprised by the 76ers. Like, just by watching them, I really doubt they're capable of doing that consistently. And I'd imagine they're going to throw some more things at James Harden because I said it in the first segment. I mean, they were letting him be really patient. They weren't trying to throw him off his game too much. They were kind of more worried about taking everyone else away. But, I think that's tough. I'm going with the Celtics. As of now, I think that offense is one I can trust way more than 76ers. James Harden, maybe this is finally the playoffs. He keeps it going, but just knowing him and his history, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a dip, in this next game. But if you're a 76er fan, you hope not, but I'm just going to lean towards the Celtics despite, them losing without having to face Embiid. Okay. And then the last one here, Lakers, Warriors, probably the most entertaining one of the series. I'll start this one since I took the last one on that. I'm just going to go with the Warriors. I don't think I think it's an endurance game at this point for the Lakers and the Warriors at this point, but the Warriors I feel like they have more guys. Jordan Poole hasn't been consistent, but I'd imagine he starts trending in the right direction. Lakers, younger, you could say, they do have less experience just based on, you got LeBron, AD. After that, it's kind of a downfall on who has experience. The Warriors, they got a ton of it. That's where I'm sitting.
See, the thing is, I don't know, because the Warriors turn the ball over so much.
It's terrible. It's the worst thing about that team.
Like, the Lakers feed off of the fast break energy, especially with, the players they have. If Anthony Davis stays healthy, and with the Lakers having, going into Game 6 and beating the Grizzlies. I feel like from where they are now, they have a lot of momentum going into it. So I feel like the Lakers.
I don't think that the Lakers can guard the Warriors well enough. I think Vanderbilt's a really good defender. Put him on Curry.
And you
And
still got to
then
find a way to cover
You
Clay.
got Clay. Draymond's going to find guys.
Mm-hmm.
Looney's going to get rebounds. He's going to find guys too. So I don't know. I just don't see the Lakers keeping up with them just because I feel like the Warriors right now, they're just strong enough to go for one more real run with this squad.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that's kind of on the back of their brains too.
Mhm.
Like they kind of, I imagine they've read the room a few times. They're continuously seem to slip a little bit in the regular season, but they're still good enough to compete. But yeah, I think we'll probably end it there. As I'm going to be rolling, with the Warriors as well. That just seems like a mountain for the Lakers to climb. That's
Can't
a lot to
playoff
overcome.
Run, though.
That's true.
I'm
And
going
then
to cheer for the Lakers.
how are the Warriors going to do on the road?
That's a good point. Luckily, they don't.
They beat the Kings on
Yeah.
the road, though.
That was a one-time thing.
2 times.
I don't know, dude.
They had to. They had to
I
beat
don't
them
know,
twice.
dude.
Twice.
I don't know, dude. It's gonna be an interesting series either way it goes. It's gonna be a great series, and I feel like it's either gonna go to 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it right there. It's going to be an interesting series. Again, that tips off at 9 o'clock. You're definitely going to want to tune in for that one. I think that'll probably be the best game of the night. A lot of storylines in that. But again, thank you to Jeff and Sam for coming in. This was the Walk On Weekly on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll see you guys next week.